Hello, and welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. I thought it would be a good time to tell a story. Is that okay? Sure, why not? Okay, so I had a friend who worked at the Playboy Mansion. He was a butler, okay? Now, every Thursday at the Playboy Mansion, it's called Manly Night, okay? And on that night, they have a buffet of fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and stuffing, okay? Now, no one eats it because the playmates don't eat fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and all that stuff because they have access to the kitchen, which is fully staffed. So if they want lobster, they just make a phone call. They bring them up lobster or whatever. Like, you know, like if you can eat anything you want, fried chicken's not on your list, okay? And then Hugh Hefner, because he's old, he could, like, his doctor only allowed him to eat one piece of fried chicken. So it's basically just a shit ton of food being wasted. So the kitchen staff and the butlers would bring home, like, literally grocery bags full of fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and stuffing. Because, like, I don't know why they kept wasting the food. But anyway, so I had a friend. Bryant would bring home. He would literally bring home like 2 bags of fried chicken. And then another bag of mashed potatoes and stuffing. So on average, you bring home 3 bags of just free food that would last a week, basically. So, he's a Jewish guy. And he's also not that bright. So, every Thursday night, when he would bring home this stuff, he would call every black every black person he knew. Okay? So, every Thursday, I would go over to his house. And it'd just be me and all these black people sitting at a table eating fried chicken. And after doing this for about 6 times, and then with me, like, with the fried chicken, like, I would peel the skin off, like, the fried part off, and just kind of eat a couple of parts. Because it's like, even though, I mean, it tasted really good. I mean, it's the best fried chicken I've ever had has been from the Playboy Mansion. And it wasn't greasy. It was I just don't like fried food. But like it didn't taste fried, and it didn't have the greasy feeling, but it was still fried. So maybe mentally I was like, eh. But anyway, I want to say after the 6th time of leaving my house Thursday night. Oh, and I'm living with my girlfriend, and I didn't tell her what I was doing. I would just go, I'll see you later, and I would leave. Well, she never asked, so it's not like I was being a dick. She never asked. So anyway, the 6th time I'm 6th or 7th, whatever, eating the fried chicken at the house. At a table with like just black people. I'm like, hey, you guys realize every Thursday he only has black people over? He only calls his black friends over? And both of them like looked at me like, oh, now you realize it, dumbass? I'm like, well, I just didn't notice. Okay, so they had been noticing. I'm oblivious because I'm in my own wood. I don't care about me. So, but because that information was brought to my attention, I had a field day. I started making fun of this guy behind his back to everyone. Okay, just, calling him the Thursday racist or like the fried chicken, bandit. Just all these nicknames. They enjoyed it too. And so it's like, now we're going to his house every Thursday to make fun of him behind his back because we've been sneak dissing him like on like MySpace and on Facebook and other social media for just all day, but it's been going on for months. So like for months, we have been talking shit about this guy, making fun of him. It was so entertaining just talking because he didn't get it. I mean, some people are stupid. Okay, so anyway, just one Thursday as I'm leaving the house to go to his house, my girlfriend goes, "Frank, where are you going?" And I'm like, how dare she ask me a question? Then I hit her. I kicked her down the stairs. No. I said, oh yeah, I'm going to Brian's house like every Thursday. He calls all of his black friends over because he brings fried chicken from his job. And the only thing we do is just make fun of him. I'm like, we've been making fun of this guy for months. It's hilarious. And she looked at me. She tilted her head to the side. She's like, but I thought you guys were friends. You can't make fun of him. You have to tell him. You have to help him. This dumb bitch. For some reason, she thought I was a great guy. I don't know why. And I'm like, fine. Now, she's antisocial. She hates crowds. She hates people. She's very uncomfortable. I'm like, you know what? Okay, well, I'll bring it to his attention, okay? I'll tell him to invite other races, invite other people. Like, I'll tell him the whole thing. But like, you're gonna go too, because that's my way of like making her do something. So anyway, so I go over to his house and I just tell him the truth. I'm like, hey, bro, I've been making fun of you for like 6 months now. Everyone has been putting you on blast on Facebook. These are your nicknames. Blah 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 blah. He's like, oh, I wasn't trying to be racist. I just thought black people like fried chicken, so I just invited all my black friends. That's what he said. He said, I wasn't being racist. I just thought black people like fried chicken, so I invited all my black friends. And so I look at him, I'm like, so white people don't like fried chicken? Chinese people don't like fried chicken? No, we know Chinese people don't like black people. But like, Chinese people don't like fried chicken? Like, Mexicans don't like fried chicken? And he's like, oh yeah, they do. I'm like, you don't like fried chicken? Like, yeah, I do. So anyway, he woke up. Okay. So now this idiot takes my advice and has a fried chicken party where there's, the coalition is there. You got your blacks, you got your whites, you got your Asians, you got your Latinas, you got some guy who probably lived under a bridge, I don't know, but you got all the races, okay? You got all the races and you got all the genders, too. Okay? So you got all the races and you got all the genders. Everyone knows each other, though. We're all friends, okay? It's just that now the other races are allowed to partake in this fried chicken madness. Okay, so now everyone's eating fried chicken, having a good time at his house, okay? I'm drunk, of course, because my fun's ruined, because I can't make fun of him anymore because my girlfriend. But my girlfriend's there. So, we're all eating fried chicken, like, in a dining room. So, like, I go to, like, the kitchen because I was going to make myself another drink. My girlfriend follows me because she's a fucking shadow. She's like 5'3", I'm 5'10", so I look down at her. I'm like, what the fuck do you want, bitch? What the fuck do you... No, I didn't really say that. So she's 5... I mean, I'm drunk, but I'm not a mean drunk. Anyway, so she's looking up at me. And I'm looking down at her. I'm like, what do you want? She's like, this is really good. Like, I think it really helped Bryant. Like, he actually has other races over. And like, okay, cheerleader, I get it. Jesus. So I get annoyed from her, obviously. So I start to walk back out into the dining room. And so I peek the door open, and I look inside the den, and there's this black guy there. His name is Animashan, okay? He's holding a drumstick in his hand, and he takes a bite, and he just makes this face like he just came in his pants. Because it's really good. He's like, So I grab my girlfriend. I'm like, hey. Now she's a natural blonde. Blue eyes, natural blonde. Like the carpet does match the rug. It's the first time in my life I actually met a natural blonde, actually. But anyway, I'm like, I dare you to go out in the living room, walk up in front of Animashan as he's eating the fried chicken, point at him and go, look at that nigger eating fried chicken. She's like, okay. No hesitation. Okay? I kind of take a few steps back into the kitchen. I'm like, wait, is she really going to do that? And I'm just making myself another drink. And so I hear her say it. Like, I hear her, she goes, look at that nigger eating fried chicken. Okay, I hear Bryant's girlfriend go, what the fuck? Two people drop their plates. You hear two plates shatter on the floor. You hear, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck's going on? So now I walk to the door and I peek into the dining room. Animashan is now standing over her. He's holding her shoulder and his right hand is cocked back, about to punch her in the face, and his face, he looks like he's gonna kill her, and everyone is just stunned, and there's fried chicken on the floor because 3 people dropped their fucking plates, and I just bust up laughing, and I fall into the dining room. I'm just like, oh, and like, and there's this girl there. She looks at me. She's like, Frank, I'm so disappointed in you. Did you make her do this? Because, everyone knows that my girlfriend had no brain. And Animashan looks at me, and he, like, I'm exaggerating a little bit. He puts my girlfriend down. He's like, did you tell her to do this? And I'm still laughing. I'm like, of course. And everyone just like he busts up laughing after that because he was gonna kill her, and everyone else was like shaking their head like disappointed, and I'm just like, look at all you. I don't give a fuck. And I just grab a piece of fried chicken. I'm like, I'm a nigga eating this fried chicken. I don't care. And everyone was so mad at me. I didn't give a fuck. They were pissed. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I went through 6 months of being called every Thursday to come over and be a fried chicken garbage disposal because only black people like fried chicken. So I had my fun. I don't care. Okay? But of course, because it was my idea, everyone thinks I'm weird. Whatever. Greatest moment of my life. I'll never forget that moment. And they won't either. And they're better for it, okay? Peace.